devil comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day. I went and hit my 10 o'clock meeting first. I just felt like I needed to go to a meeting that I didn't run or have to do anything. I don't get many of those. So I like, I do have the group that I'm running. That is, in a sense, my home group, but I'm very, very involved there. So it's kind of nice to go to a meeting where all I really have to do is share. And I can sit back and kind of relax and take it all in. So we need those different kinds of things. So today is March 16th. And March 16th is several things to me. So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Let me know. I know I'm doing this at an odd time, so not really anticipating too many people. So, of course, if you have a topic, please bring one up. I'll do what I can, or we'll just stick with daily reflections. It goes however God decides it goes. So, not too worried about it there. All right. So, March 16th. Number one, it is my anniversary. And we put it on March 16th for a reason. So my original sobriety date was March 16th, 1989. And so we got married on my old sobriety date as a way for, number one, for me to remember it. And because it was special to us, because my wife, Shannon, was around when I got sober the first time. A lot of people don't know this, but we were high school sweethearts. But she was in high school. I was not. But we were at that age. I was 18. And she was there the first time I got sober too. She was actually there for everything. I tell you something. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without my wife. So the fact that I get to do this and come on here is not only the grace of God, but it's my wife supporting me in what I do, guys. That's a lot of it. So, all right, let's get to the daily reflection, right? Because one's too many, 1,000's not enough, right? It doesn't matter what it is. I got plenty of people on here that do all sorts of different things. All right. I can usually tell. Mark, good to see you, man. Mark, not going to make it through your whole video. Good. You know what? Thank you. At least thank you for being here, and thank you, Mark. Mark and I are getting ready. A week from this Monday, he and I are going to be doing a podcast on men's mental health. All right. I'm really excited about that because we're going to be hitting a lot of great topics. So, Mark, thanks for stopping by. It was good to see you. He took off. Have a great day, man. Mysterious ways. Now, as we understand him. I apologize. It's from the other one here. And then we'll get to that one. The program teaches us that we are bodily and mentally different from our fellows. We are reminded that the great obsession of every abnormal drinker and every one of us who is otherwise addictive is to prove that somehow, someday, we will be able to control our eating, drinking, or gambling. And the persistence of this illusion is astonishing. We are told, and many pursue it to the gates of insanity or death. Have I conceded to my innermost self that for me, one is too many and 1,000 is not enough? I am too, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the thing is here is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker is to drink like a normal person, right? Okay, now we're not going to get that. It's not going to happen. Okay, just never seen it happen. Ain't gonna happen. Sorry. Okay, but don't sit around. Like I was kind of, the meeting I just went to. Like I said, I get to listen, and somebody, a lot of people are disappointed because they're still having a hard time with the being around alcohol while others are drinking with impunity. Okay, I want you to watch what happens to those people. Okay, watch them, man. Watch their personalities change. Even if they're normies, their personality is going to change. By the end of the night, there will be some drama. There almost always is. I don't know about you guys, but every time I'm around alcohol, there's some kind of drama going on. Okay? But that is, I don't tend to attract normies. I tend to attract people that are still drinking, actually. Which is great. I love wet drunks. People say they don't like wet drunks. Okay, I love it. I love wet drunks. Why? Because it reminds me of exactly who I was, not am. That person doesn't exist anymore. Nope. So the question here, have I conceded to my innermost self that for me, one is too many and 1,000 is not enough? Okay. I want you to think of this in your head. Let's say they came out with a pill today that would cure whatever ism you're going through. By the way, I've decided I'm trying to move to isms. Okay. Isms is just addiction. Is that all right? It's kind of what our group has come up with is isms. So anyway, have I conceded that one is too many, 1,000 not enough? So if that pill came out to cure your ism today, what goes through your mind automatically? Right? So for me, it's drinking. So my obsession for drinking has been relieved. Well, I'm going to drink and drink and drink and drink. See, that's the thought that goes through my head. Okay. Do you see the redundancy in that? Here's the other thing. Okay. As a person with a disease, no matter what it is, your addiction, you get to go further than those people out there drinking with impunity. You get to go beyond them. You can help when other people cannot. Okay? So don't cut off your nose to spite your face, man. Okay? Oh, well, I don't get to that. You want to know why you don't get to? Because you used your drink card up. Okay? It's their turn now. Okay? Trust me, life is a lot better. It really is. May have no illusions about someday becoming a moderate drinker, drug user. There's no such thing as a moderate drug user, guys. Drugs, I'm not going to get into that. Let's just go with the saying, because there are some people, you know what? I'm just going to retract that. Maybe I am wrong. Okay. May I have no illusions about someday becoming a moderate drinker or drug user after being an obsessive one. Then okay. Then I'm okay. May I muffle any small amount of destructive pride which lies in me, telling me that I can go back to my former use and control it. This is a program of no return, and I thank God for it. Today I'll remember my goal must be lifelong abstinence, a day at a time. Right? When I think of being sober for the rest of my life, it doesn't bother me. Okay? 5 years ago, it would have bothered me. So I didn't take it that way. I did it as a day at a time. Okay? Right now, I'm working with somebody. They're not sure if they have a drinking problem. They feel like they might. They're not sure. We don't know. Right? So they have swore off. They committed to not drinking for 30 days. They're working with a sponsor, and they're going to go to meetings and see if that helps. And if it helps, and then after 30 days, we're going to go back and revisit the drinking thing. Who knows? Maybe they may not even want to drink anymore. I don't know. But gosh, shouldn't we give that person a chance? Now what if I would say to that person, no, you must stay sober forever? No way, man. That's scary shit. That is scary. And I'm not going to do that to somebody. No, and besides, it's about today. If you got up before 9 o'clock this morning or 9:30 this morning, you have more sobriety than me. As we understood him. So how do we get out of all this obsession? Right? How do we get away from the being at places and seeing people drink? I was 6 years sober, 7 years sober. I started going to the club and going dancing. I really enjoyed dancing. I loved it. I used to go with friends from work, which was, we were all counselors. I was working at up in Golden Youth Center. Lookout Mountain School for Boys is where I was working. I worked in a place called Youth Track. It was for serious offenders trying to get back into the mainstream of life. And we used to go dancing 3-4 times a week, man. And there was one day, and Chad Brenizer, God, I miss that motherfucker. He went and he's like, hey, do you want a drink? Well, yeah, I'm gonna grab me a drink. Goes back, it's Jack and Coke. I spit it out all over the place, and I leaned over. I'm like, dude, I don't drink. He's like, I never knew that. He and I have been hanging out for a year. He just never, that's how I became. People, I just hung out. People never asked me if I drank. They didn't, blah, blah. I just didn't. So anyway, so how do we get out of that, Dion? You got to do this in 3 minutes. All right. My friend suggested what then seemed a novel idea. Why don't you choose your own conception of God? That statement hit me hard. It melted my icy intellectual mountain in whose shadow I had lived and shivered for many years. I stood in the sunlight of the spirit. I stood in the sunlight at last. It was only a matter of being willing to believe in a power greater than myself. Nothing more was required of me to make a beginning. Willingness, that's it. It's all you need in order to make a beginning. Right? I remember the times I looked up in the sky and reflected on who all started it all and how. When I came to AA, an understanding of some description of the spiritual dimension became a necessary adjunct to a stable sobriety. After reading a variety of versions, including the scientific of great explosions, I went for simplicity and made God of my understanding the great power that made me an explosion possible. All right. Now, yes, you need to pick your version of God. Okay. Because I guarantee my version of God's not going to be like yours. You can steal some of the attributes. I tell you, I call God God because I don't want to confuse everybody else. Because it's not my job to add more confusion than harmony. Or I would say universe or something like that. I don't know, it's a word, man. Right? Still going to call it God. Why not? Okay. I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic. I'm just a spiritual being human. I'm a human being. That's it. With the vastness of the universe under his command, he would, no doubt, be able to guide my thinking and actions if I was prepared to accept his guidance. But I could not expect help if I turned my back on that help and went on my own way. I became willing to believe and I have had 26 years of stable and satisfying sobriety. Okay. So, we have this obsession. The only thing that's going to lift it is a power greater than ourselves. And we have to meet that person. We have to have a relationship. It is going to be our first successful relationship. Okay. My wife and I have a very successful relationship. Why? Because she has a relationship with God. I have a relationship with God. And they're separate. Okay? Then we come together as husband and wife, and we combine our programs to make the world around us a better place. And that's what we do. And we give each other a lot of crap. We haven't fought in over 5 years. I could go ask her how long it's been, but it's been about 5 years. I'm serious. We have not fought. We don't fight. So I don't. A lot of people don't believe us, but go ask my brother-in-law Matt. Ask him if he's ever heard us fight. Yeah. Why would I want to fight? I love my wife. See, when fighting occurs, that's when name calling happens. You start blaming other people. No, in my eyes, my wife's perfect. Love you guys. Peace out and have a day. I love you guys.